Welcome to Top Rare Coins, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden treasures of history. On this channel, we explore some of the most fascinating and valuable old coins from the United States. From rare pennies and silver dollars to historic coins worth thousands of dollars. Each piece has a story waiting to be uncovered. Whether you're a collector, a history lover, or just curious about coins you might have lying around, this channel will guide you through the world of rare U.S. coins, helping you valuable finds and learn what makes them so special. Don't forget to subscribe and join us as we uncover the secrets behind America's rarest coins. Here is a polished, engaging, and professional YouTube script of around 1,200 words, written smoothly for narration. Have you ever held a simple penny in your hand and wondered if it could be worth a fortune? Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1974 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks ordinary, something you might find in your pocket change. But for collectors and enthusiasts, this coin has sparked curiosity, debate, and in some cases, astonishing value claims reaching as high as $1.2 million. Let's explore what makes this coin so special, why it has captured so much attention, and whether it could truly be worth such an incredible amount. The 1974 Lincoln cent is part of a long-running series that began in 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse, for coins minted before 1982, displays the familiar wheat ears or later the Lincoln Memorial, depending on the variation. By 1974, the Lincoln Memorial reverse was standard, showing a detailed depiction of the historic structure in Washington, D.C. Now, when we talk about a coin with no mint mark, it simply means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During that time, coins from Philadelphia typically did not carry a mint mark, unlike those from Denver or San Francisco. So technically, millions of 1974 pennies exist without a mint mark. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 1974 no mint mark pennies are created equal. Certain rare variations, minting errors, and experimental compositions have elevated some of these coins to legendary status. One of the most talked about possibilities is the existence of a 1974 aluminum penny. During the early 1970s, rising copper prices led the U.S. Mint to experiment with alternative materials. Aluminum was tested as a cheaper and lighter option. In 1974, a small number of aluminum pennies were struck as experimental pieces. However, these coins were never officially released into circulation. Most were melted down, and only a few are believed to exist today. If a genuine 1974 aluminum cent were to appear in private hands, its value could easily reach into the hundreds of thousands or even surpass $1 million. This is where the speculation about the $1.2 million value often comes from. It's not the standard copper penny that holds this extreme value, but the rare and controversial experimental versions or highly unique error coins. Another factor that can dramatically increase a coin's value is mint error. Errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, or dramatic misprints can transform an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. For example, a 1974 penny struck on the wrong metal or showing a clear doubling in the lettering or date could fetch significant sums at auction. Condition also plays a crucial role. Coins are graded on a scale, with higher grades indicating better preservation. A coin in mint state condition, especially one graded MS 65 or higher, will always command a premium. A flawless 1974 no mint mark penny with exceptional luster and sharp details could be worth far more than a circulated one, even without any errors. So, is it true that a regular 1974 penny without a mint mark is worth $1.2 million? The honest answer is no. Not in typical cases. Most 1974 pennies are still worth just 1 cent, or slightly more if they are in uncirculated condition. However, the excitement comes from the possibility. Rare variations, experimental pieces, and significant mint errors are what drive those extraordinary valuations. This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story includes mystery, rarity, and immense value. If you have a 1974 penny, here are a few things you should check. First, examine the material. A standard 1974 penny is made of copper and weighs about 3.11 grams. If your coin feels unusually light, It could be worth investigating further, as aluminum coins weigh significantly less. Second, look closely at the details. Check for doubling in the letters, especially in the word Liberty or the date. Use a magnifying glass if possible. Small differences can make a big impact on value. Third, inspect the edges and strike quality. Off-center designs or unusual impressions could indicate a mint error. Fourth, consider the coin's condition. A well-preserved coin with no scratches, discoloration, or wear will always be more desirable to collectors. If you believe you have something unusual, the best step is to have your coin evaluated by a professional grading service. Experts can authenticate the coin, determine its composition, and assign an official grade, which is essential for establishing its true market value. Now let's talk about the current market reality as of today. Most 1974 no-mint mark pennies sell for a few cents to a few dollars, depending on condition. Uncirculated examples might reach higher prices, especially in top grades. Error coins can range from tens to thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand, but the legendary million-dollar valuation is reserved for extremely rare cases. Coins that are either unique, experimental, or historically significant. Stories of valuable coins often go viral, and while they inspire excitement, they can sometimes blur the line between possibility and probability. It's important to stay informed and rely on verified information when evaluating coins. Still, the idea that a simple penny could be worth a fortune is what keeps collectors searching, examining, and dreaming. Imagine finding a coin in your old jar or wallet that turns out to be a rare mint error or an experimental piece. That moment of discovery is what makes this hobby so rewarding. In conclusion, the 1974 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark is a fascinating coin with a mix of common circulation pieces and extremely rare possibilities. While most are not worth more than their face value, a select few variations have captured the attention of collectors worldwide and have the potential to reach extraordinary prices. Today, we're diving into a fascinating story surrounding a seemingly simple penny, the 1986 Lincoln 1 cent coin, specifically the rare and mysterious version associated with the Denver Mint, yet appearing without a mint mark. Even more intriguing, collectors and enthusiasts have claimed that its market value can soar to astonishing heights, with some estimates reaching up to $1.2 million under the right conditions. Let's explore what makes this coin so special, how to identify it, and whether it could truly be hiding in plain sight. First, a bit of background. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909, is one of the most iconic coins in United States history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and, in 1986, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These coins are incredibly common, with billions produced each year. In fact, the 1986 penny is generally considered a very common coin, at least on the surface. In 1986, the United States Mint produced pennies at multiple facilities, including Philadelphia and Denver. Typically, coins from Philadelphia during that era carried no mint mark, while coins from Denver were marked with a small D beneath the date. This is where things get interesting. The coin we're discussing today is often described as a 1986 D penny with no mint mark, a contradiction that has sparked curiosity and debate among collectors. How can a Denver coin lack its identifying D? The answer lies in the possibility of mint errors. Mint errors occur during the coin production process and can include missing elements, misprints, or unusual strikes. In rare cases, a coin that should carry a mint mark might appear without one due to die issues, such as a filled die or a worn die that failed to properly imprint the mark. These anomalies are what makes certain coins highly desirable. Now, let's talk about what you should look for if you think you might have one of these rare coins. Start with the date, 1986. Next, carefully inspect the area just below the date on the obverse side of the coin. Normally, a Denver coin would have a clearly visible D mint mark. If that mark is completely absent, you may have something unusual. However, it's crucial to distinguish between a genuine mint error and simple wear or damage. A worn coin might have lost detail over time, which could make the mint mark appear faint or missing. This is why condition matters so much. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from heavily circulated to pristine, uncirculated condition. A coin in mint state condition, with sharp details and no visible wear, is far more valuable than one that has been handled extensively. If a 1986 penny without a mint mark is found in near-perfect condition and can be verified as a genuine mint error, its value increases dramatically. But here's where we need to be realistic and careful. Claims of a 1986 D penny without a mint mark being worth $1.2 million are extremely speculative and should be approached with caution. In the coin collecting world, values depend heavily on authentication, rarity, demand, and condition. While there have been coins that sold for extraordinary amounts, especially unique error coins, such high valuations are incredibly rare and usually tied to well-documented, one-of-a-kind pieces. For example, famous error coins like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die penny have achieved significant prices at auction, but these are well-established rarities with strong historical backing. For a 1986 penny to reach a value in the millions, it would need to be an exceptionally rare and verified error, possibly unique or nearly so. If you believe you found such a coin, what should you do next? The first step is to avoid cleaning or altering the coin in any way. Cleaning can damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Instead, store it safely in a protective holder. Next, consider having the coin professionally evaluated. Reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC specialize in authenticating and grading coins. They can determine whether your coin is a genuine mint error and assign it a grade that reflects its condition. This certification is essential if you plan to sell the coin or establish its true market value. It's also a good idea to compare your coin with verified examples and consult experienced collectors or dealers. Online forums, coin shows, and numismatic communities can provide valuable insights. Now, let's talk about the realistic market value. Most 1986 pennies, even those from the Denver Mint, are worth only a few cents to a few dollars, depending on their condition. Even uncirculated examples typically do not command high prices. However, genuine mint errors can be worth significantly more, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the nature and rarity of the error. Reaching a value of $1.2 million would place the coin among the most valuable coins ever sold, which is an extraordinary claim. While it's not impossible in the world of rare collectibles, it would require strong evidence, expert verification, and significant collector demand. So why do such high-value claims circulate online? Part of it comes from the excitement and allure of hidden treasures. The idea that a common coin in your pocket could be worth a fortune is incredibly appealing. Social media and online platforms often amplify these stories, sometimes without full context or verification. That doesn't mean you should ignore your coins, quite the opposite. Coin collecting is a rewarding hobby that combines history, art, and the thrill of discovery. While most coins won't make you a millionaire, occasionally finding a rare piece is absolutely possible. In conclusion, the 1986 penny with a missing mint mark is an intriguing topic that highlights the fascinating world of mint errors and coin collecting. While claims of million-dollar values should be approached with caution, the possibility of discovering something rare and valuable is what keeps collectors searching. Today, we are diving deep into one such intriguing piece, the Liberty 1 cent from 1987, often associated with the Denver Mint, yet mysteriously found without a mint mark. What makes this coin even more captivating is the claim that its market value can start from an astonishing $1.2 million. Is this fact, myth, or something in between? Let's explore at first glance. The 1987 Lincoln cent appears completely ordinary. It's a coin that millions of people have handled, spent, and forgotten. Produced in large quantities, it was never intended to be rare. The obverse features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial design that was used for decades. Nothing about it screams rarity until you look closer. Normally, coins minted in Denver carry a small D mint mark, indicating their origin. However, collectors have reported examples of 1987 cents that lack this mint mark entirely. This anomaly raises an immediate question. How can a coin from a specific mint exist without the identifying mark that should be present? To understand this, we need to step into the minting process itself. Coins are produced using dies, metal tools that stamp the design onto blank pieces of metal. If a die is improperly prepared or altered, It can produce coins with missing details, including mint marks. Such errors are rare, but when they occur, they capture the attention of collectors worldwide. A missing mint mark is not just a small mistake. It represents a breakdown in a highly controlled production system. This is why error coins often command significant premiums. They tell a story, a moment when something went wrong in a process designed to be flawless. But let's address the most exciting claim surrounding this coin, the valuation. The idea that a 1987 1-cent coin without a mint mark could be worth $1.2 million is enough to spark anyone's curiosity. However, in the world of numismatics, value is determined by several critical factors. First is authenticity. Not every coin that appears to lack a mint mark is a genuine mint error. In some cases, the mint mark may have been worn away due to circulation. In others, it might have been intentionally removed. True error coins must be verified by professional grading services, which examine the coin under magnification and certify its origin. Second is condition. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition will always command a higher price than one that has been heavily used. Collectors use grading scales to determine the state of preservation, and even slight differences can mean thousands of dollars in value. Third is rarity. Even among error coins, some are more common than others. If only a handful of genuine 1987 no mint mark cents exist, their value could indeed skyrocket. Scarcity drives demand, and demand drives price. So where does the figure of $1.2 million come from? In many cases, such high valuations are speculative or based on private sales that are not widely documented. The coin market can sometimes be influenced by hype, rumors, or misinterpretations. While it is not impossible for a rare coin to reach such a value, it is extremely rare and typically involves coins with well-documented historical significance or unique characteristics. That said, the possibility alone has fueled a surge of interest. People are checking their old coin jars, digging through piggy banks, and examining every penny they come across. The idea that a single cent could change your life is undeniably exciting. That if you believe you have a 1987 penny without a mint mark, there are a few steps you should take. Start by examining the coin carefully under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the area where the mint mark should be. Compare it with known examples to ensure you're not mistaking wear for an error. Next, avoid cleaning the coin. This is a crucial mistake many beginners make. Cleaning can damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Even if the coin looks dirty, it is better to leave it in its original condition. Finally, consider having the coin evaluated by a professional grading service. These organizations specialize in authenticating and grading coins, providing a certification that can greatly enhance credibility and value. Without this verification, it is difficult to prove that your coin is a genuine error. It's also important to approach this topic with a balanced perspective. While stories of million-dollar coins are inspiring, they are also exceptionally rare. Most 1987 pennies, even those without a visible mint mark due to wear, are worth only their face value or slightly more. However, the true value of coin collecting goes beyond money. It's about the thrill of discovery, the connection to history, and the appreciation of craftsmanship. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, those stories lead to unexpected treasures. The 1987 Liberty 1 cent without a mint mark serves as a perfect example of how something small and overlooked can become the center of attention. It reminds us to look closer, to question what we see, and to stay curious. Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating and controversial coins in the world of numismatics. The 1991 Liberty 1 cent, often discussed as having no visible mint mark, and rumored in rare cases to reach astonishing market values starting from $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that most people would overlook could potentially be worth more than a luxury house or a high-end sports car. But what makes this specific penny so special? Is it real? Is it rare? And most importantly, could you possibly have one? Let's explore the mystery, the value, and the truth behind the 1991 Liberty 1 cent first. Let's understand the basics. The Liberty 1 cent, more commonly known as the Lincoln penny, has been a staple of United States currency since 1909. By 1991, these pennies were being produced in massive quantities, primarily at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Coins produced in Philadelphia typically do not carry a mint mark, while those from Denver carry a small D.S. When collectors talk about a 1991 penny with no mint mark, it is not unusual at first glance. In fact, millions of pennies from Philadelphia that year were produced exactly like that. However, the story becomes interesting when we shift our focus from common coins to rare errors and exceptional conditions that eye in the world of coin collecting. Value is driven by rarity, condition, and uniqueness. A standard 1991 penny without a mint mark is usually worth just its face value, or slightly more if it is in uncirculated condition. But certain rare variations and minting errors can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure point. One of the most talked about possibilities is a mint error. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin production process. This could include double strikes, off-center designs, or even missing design elements. If a 1991 penny were to have a unique and verifiable mint error, its value could increase dramatically. Another factor that contributes to high value is the coin's condition. Coins are graded on a scale, with higher grades indicating better preservation. A coin that has never been circulated, with sharp details and original luster, can be worth significantly more than one that has been heavily used. In extremely rare cases, a coin graded at the highest levels can command extraordinary prices at auctions. Now let's address the claim that some 1991 Liberty 1-cent coins are valued at $1.2 million or more. This is where things require careful understanding. While it is true that certain rare coins have sold for millions, these are typically unique specimens with documented history, extreme rarity, and certified grading from reputable organizations. For a 1991 penny to reach such a value, it would need to possess something truly exceptional. This could be a previously unknown minting error, a prototype coin, or a one-of-a-kind anomaly that sets it apart from all others. Without such characteristics, it is highly unlikely for a standard coin from that year to reach a $1 million valuation. However, stories and claims like these continue to circulate, often sparking excitement and curiosity among collectors and the general public. And while many of these claims may be exaggerated, they serve an important purpose. They inspire people to take a closer look at the coins they already have. Imagine going through your spare change and discovering something rare. It's like a modern-day treasure hunt, hidden in plain sight. This is one of the reasons coin collecting remains such a popular and rewarding hobby, that if you are interested in checking your own coins, here are a few tips to help you get started. First, examine the date and mint mark carefully. Even small details can make a big difference. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the coin for any unusual features or errors. Second, pay attention to the condition. Coins that appear shiny, with minimal wear, are generally more valuable than those that are scratched or faded. Try to handle coins carefully, holding them by the edges to avoid damaging the surface. Third, consider getting your coin evaluated by a professional grading service. These organizations specialize in authenticating and grading coins, providing an official assessment of their value and condition. This is especially important if you believe you have found something rare. It is also important to stay informed and cautious. The internet is full of information, but not all of it is accurate. Some claims about coin values are based on speculation rather than verified sales. Always rely on reputable sources and expert opinions when determining the value of a coin. So, is the 1991 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark worth $1.2 million? In most cases, the answer is no. But that does not mean valuable coins do not exist. It simply means that true rarity is much more specific and requires proper verification. The real value of coin collecting goes beyond money. It is about history, curiosity, and the thrill of discovery. Each coin tells a story, representing a moment in time and a piece of craftsmanship. Whether your coin is worth 1 cent or $1 million, it holds a unique place in that story. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in circulation history, the 1995 Liberty 1 cent that appears without a mint mark and has been rumored to reach astonishing market values starting from $1.2 million. At first glance, the 1995 Lincoln penny looks completely ordinary. It features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Millions of these coins were minted, and they are still commonly found in circulation, coin jars, and even in loose change today. But what makes this specific variation so incredibly valuable is not what you see immediately. It is what is missing. Typically, coins minted in the United States carry a small letter indicating where they were produced. For the 1995 penny, you would normally expect to see a D for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia. However, certain collectors and experts have reported extremely rare cases where coins believed to be from the Denver Mint appear without the expected D mint mark. This unusual anomaly has sparked intense interest in the numismatic community. Now, let's understand why a missing mint mark can create such massive value. Coin production is a highly controlled process. Every detail, including mint marks, is carefully engraved into the dies used to strike coins. For a mint mark to be missing where it should exist suggests a rare minting error, the kind that collectors dream about. These errors are not just mistakes. They are historical accidents frozen in metal, making them incredibly desirable. But here is where things get even more interesting. Not every 1995 penny without a mint mark is valuable. In fact, most of them are completely normal because Philadelphia coins traditionally do not carry a mint mark. The true rarity lies in identifying whether the coin was actually intended to have a D mint mark but was struck without it due to a production error. This is why authentication is absolutely critical. Professional grading services examine such coins under magnification, analyzing details like strike quality, die characteristics, and metal composition. Only after thorough verification can a coin be classified as a genuine mint error. Without this step, it is impossible to confirm whether a coin holds extraordinary value or is simply a common piece. Let's talk about the condition of the coin, because this is another major factor in determining its worth. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from heavily worn to flawless mint state. A 1995 error penny in poor condition might still be interesting, but it would never reach a high valuation. On the other hand, a coin that is nearly perfect, with sharp details and minimal wear, can command an extraordinary price. The rumored valuation starting from $1.2 million is not just about rarity. It is about a perfect storm of factors. Rarity, condition, authenticity, and demand all combine to create such a high market value. When collectors compete for a coin that is believed to be one of a kind or extremely limited in existence, prices can skyrocket beyond expectations. Another important aspect to consider is the role of auctions. Rare coins often achieve their highest values not through fixed pricing, but through competitive bidding. When multiple high-end collectors recognize the significance of a coin, they are willing to push the price higher and higher. This is how some coins reach million-dollar valuations, not because of a set price tag, but because of intense demand. There is also a psychological factor involved. Owning a rare coin is not just about money. It is about prestige, history, and exclusivity. Collectors take pride in possessing something that very few people in the world can ever have. A unique 1995 penny error represents not just a financial asset, but a story, a moment in minting history that was never supposed to happen. Now, you might be wondering, could you actually find one of these coins in your own pocket change? The answer is both exciting and realistic. While the chances are extremely low, they are not zero. Many valuable coins have been discovered by ordinary people who simply took the time to examine their change carefully. This is why coin collecting continues to attract enthusiasts around the world. The thrill of the hunt is real. If you are serious about searching for rare coins like this, there are a few key things to keep in mind. First, always examine your coins under good lighting. Small details can make a huge difference. Second, consider using a magnifying glass or a coin microscope to inspect fine features. Third, educate yourself about known errors and variations so you know exactly what to look for. It is also important to be cautious of misinformation. The internet is filled with exaggerated claims and unverified listings. Just because someone says a coin is worth millions does not make it true. Always rely on professional evaluations and trusted sources when determining value. Another tip is to never clean your coins. This might sound surprising, but cleaning can actually reduce a coin's value significantly. Collectors prefer coins in their original state, even if they show signs of age. Cleaning can damage the surface and remove important details that are essential for grading. Let's take a moment to reflect on why coins like this capture so much attention. In a world driven by digital transactions, physical coins carry a sense of history and authenticity that cannot be replicated. Each coin passes through countless hands, witnessing everyday life while quietly holding the potential for extraordinary value. The story of the 1995 Liberty 1 cent without a mint mark reminds us that even the smallest and most overlooked objects can hold incredible significance. It challenges us to look closer, think deeper, and appreciate the hidden details in the things we often take for granted. Today, we're diving into a coin that has been creating massive buzz online, especially among beginner collectors and treasure hunters. The 1998 Lincoln 1 cent coin, particularly the versions with a D mint mark and those with no mint mark at all. You may have seen videos or listings claiming that this coin is worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands, or in some extreme cases, over $1 million. But how much of that is actually true? And more importantly, could you really have a valuable 1998 penny sitting in your pocket right now? Let's break it down step by step and uncover the real story behind this fascinating coin. First, let's understand what the 1998 Lincoln penny actually is. This coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been used since 1909. On the back, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959. Now, when it comes to mint marks, there are three main types for 1998 pennies. Coins with no mint mark were produced in Philadelphia. Coins with a D mint mark were minted in Denver. And coins with an S mint mark were proof coins made in San Francisco. Here's something important that many people misunderstand. A penny with no mint mark is not an error. It simply means it was made in Philadelphia. This is completely normal, and billions of these coins were produced. In fact, over 5 billion 1998 pennies without a mint mark were minted. That means they are extremely common. The same goes for the 1998 D pennies. More than 5 billion were also produced in Denver. So, if you have a regular 1998 penny, whether it has a D or no mint mark, in most cases, it is only worth its face value of 1 cent, but now comes the exciting part. While most of these coins are common, there are certain rare varieties and errors that can make a 1998 penny significantly more valuable. One of the most famous varieties is known as the wide AM variety. This refers to the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse of the coin. That on a normal penny, the A and M are very close together. But on the wide AM variety, there is a noticeable gap between these letters. This difference might seem small, but it can have a big impact on value. Collectors actively search for this variety because it is much rarer than standard coins. A 1998 wide AM penny in excellent condition can sell for anywhere from $20 to over $150, depending on its grade. And in extremely high mint state conditions, some examples have sold for even more, reaching into the hundreds or thousands. Another factor that can increase value is the condition of the coin. Coin collectors use a grading system that ranges from poor condition all the way up to perfect mint state.